Welcome back to the regular exclusive podcast. And we just wrapped up Comic-Con and a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm actually excited because I feel like Comic-Con, I haven't really been super interested the last couple of years, but there's actually been some good stuff that came out this year. So where
Yeah,
do you want to start?
well, I'll agree with you that this was one of the more exciting years for sure for Comic Con. I feel like every day there was just new exciting stuff coming out, stories and trailers. So let's start with the trailers. What do you think?
Yeah, we'll save the superhero stuff for the end because we
Yeah,
never talk about superhero stuff. So
yeah,
we're actually excited about this.
that's new for us. We rarely do that. Okay, so do you want to talk about? Let's talk about Resident Evil trailer first because it was just like it's the second trailer we've gotten for Zach Kreger's Resident Evil, and it's the official trailer, so it shows a little bit more about the story.
Yep.
And I was so curious what your thoughts are because I fucking am even more excited now.
I mean, it tells us like barely anything more than the teaser, which I'm okay with because I love
Yeah,
the Resident Evil games, but I don't need the movie to be an adaptation of the game. The plot for the game gets a little wild, I think, for 2 hours. So I'm really glad that that this is a separate thing, but it looks really, really fun. Yeah, the whole organ transplant like delivery service thing, and we got the little chime at the very end going to Raccoon City.
yep.
I mean, it looks awesome. Also, that we get it looks like we're gonna get a zombie baby in
I believe
in
so.
one scene.
Yeah,
So
at least. I don't know. It's Zach Kreger. There could be multiple. Yeah, this looks like it. Honestly, it's just gonna be. I think it'll be refreshing and new for people who like Resident Evil already, but then people who don't know anything, it'll just be like a kind of easier way in than like getting all the lore dump.
yeah,
Like and starting with the whole universe or playing the game. Even if you just want to like kind of feel. I feel like this is just gonna be what it feels like to play the game in that universe, but you're just like a random side character, which is perfect.
yeah. I mean, if there's anything that I feel like the movie industry should have learned by now is, the Resident Evil movies up to this point haven't really been direct adaptations, but they've kind of ripped off the games, and they haven't been very good. So like I would say let's try something different and put something in the world of Resident Evil, but not follow the main story that we play in the games. Because yeah, they want to make a movie that's approachable for anyone to go see.
Exactly. That's what I think the main draw is here. And it will also in turn get more people intrigued to maybe try out the game and
Yeah,
like get into that. So I think it's a two-way street that works really well. And anybody who's like, I just wish it was like the traditional lore of like, you have the cinematics in a game. I feel like Nolan always tells me that the cinematics are like incredible, his favorite part. I'm like, I skip all the fucking storyline in my games, but like I play like Mario shit. So maybe that's why. But he's like, they're like fucking incredible, like and I was like, that's cool. That's not my games, but I feel like Resident Evil is one where like you have so much stuff already in the game that like a new, fresh kind of, sideline story will be really fun. And also like, they'll be able to spot all the cool references, I'm sure, but it won't be like over the top or like, trying to tie in all the main characters to the story. It seems like it's just going to be like it feels like it's going to be a very, very, very fast, like it starts and then it just goes to 60 and fucking does not stop until the very end. It's kind of what it seems like, which is
yeah.
great.
It the trailer reminds me of the very end of Weapons. That
Yeah.
sequence where she's running from the kids, like the intensity, not the comedy of that, but just the intensity of it. That's what this whole trailer feels like. Like I'm gonna go to this movie waiting for the sequence of the zombies falling from the rooftops. Like
Yeah.
that's the entire thing I want to see. It's just
That looks so cool.
that moment.
I think it's going to be just like a very different exercise for Zach Kreger of like he is really good at like kind of jumping around and like throwing you off and like doing different storylines that all somehow connect at the end. And you're like, what the fuck? But then it's brilliant. But like he did with, Barbarian and Weapons. But with this, I feel like it's one storyline. There's no like time jumps. Maybe he'll have a flashback or a dream of something, but it seems like it's going to be pretty straightforward. Like we're going from point A to point B and it's going to be a hellscape in between. And that's
Yeah.
so exciting that I think he's gonna nail it, but it's gonna be literally like you're saying, the level of the weapons ending for almost the entire movie, which is crazy.
It's gonna be awesome. And I'm not I'm still holding out some belief that we're gonna get a cameo of one of the game characters. At the end or something. I don't know. Just not anything that leads to like a sequel, but just something that's like an Easter egg or just a nod to the games a little bit. I think it's gonna happen.
Like, at the very end, they revealed that like Austin Abrams' character is actually Leon Kennedy.
If they did that, people would riot. People love Leon. They would lose their mind if they did that.
I don't know much about Resident Evil, but I know people like fucking have the biggest, fattest boners for Leon Kennedy. I don't know why, but I think he's just a badass. From what I've read a little bit about him, but
he is a bad. If Leon ends up being in the movie, this is going to turn into an action movie, which I don't think that's what Zach Cregger wants to do. It would need to be a collaboration between Zach Cregger and then the guy who like directs John Wick. Like that's what that would be if this was Leon.
Maybe that'll be the sequel.
Yeah.
All right. That's an exciting trailer, but there's two other ones that I feel like are brand new and very hyped. I'm very hyped to talk to you about.
I want to talk about Carrie.
Okay, let's talk about it because I was gonna say, should we go with our Lord and Savior Mike Flanagan's trailer first? The Carrie TV show, which I think I've said already on here, but like that's one like of Stephen King's works that we absolutely don't need an adaptation of, but I'm so hyped that Flanagan's doing it because I know it's going to be totally different. So what do you think of the trailer? Because the trailer, I think, gives us a way better sense of like how he's going to be going about it.
Yeah, the trailer. So I mean, when I watched the trailer, I thought in my mind, I was like, this feels like the right way to adapt, a classic. Because it seems like it's very heavily going to be involving social media and technology and like the experience of a young girl today versus, when was Carrie made? Like late 70s, 80s?
Yeah, like late 70s. I think 1975 or 1976.
Okay. So yeah, like the experience of these two different Carries the experience isn't going to be that different. The environment is going to be different. And so exactly. I really like how it's showing that. And then, it's changing a little bit of the dynamic between the mom and the daughter. But it looks like a really good, refreshing spin on the Carrie story without taking away like the core elements that make Carrie.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think it's going to be the idea of like bringing in the social media and everything. I think totally makes sense. And it actually really works for me. I would say, I feel like I don't know exactly how he's going to do it, but I'm sure that he might it looks like they're going to include from some of the shots, like the destruction of the entire town, which is something from the novel that has never really made it into any of the adaptations, even though it's been adapted like a billion fucking times now. And even has a musical. But I feel like this will just be probably the next best version after, like, I still think Brian De Palma nailed it, but I'm totally open to Mike Flanagan doing this. And also Matthew Lillard plays the school principal, who's normally a total dick. So I'm sure he'll like add empathy and make me cry. But I think it's just really exciting. He also just for Comic-Con mentioned the Mist adaptation, which people are also like, why are you redoing that? It's perfect. And he said he's doing a story set at the same time, but just with different characters. And I think that's awesome. That's exactly why I'm totally fine with him doing that. I mean, even if he was going to remake the story, I'd be like, you know what? Let him do it. Whatever. I trust this man. But I think he's doing something with the Mist and with Carrie that he might like incorporate, or like, I feel like his vision for these will be a little closer to like The Haunting of Hill House when he did that, which is like a remix of like, what's her face? Shirley Jackson's work, who wrote A Haunting of Hill House and some of her other stuff that he like incorporates into the characters and stories. So I'm sure he'll do kind of stuff like that, but
What?
Honestly, I mean, in Flanagan we trust at this point, but the trailer just confirmed that this guy knows what he's fucking doing.
Yeah, if it's Flanagan and if it's Stephen King, like we're in good hands, you know.
Yeah, I don't know why people are worried. People are like, he's adapting all the Stephen King and all this stuff. But what I think is the coolest part about this is that he has said, so he's building up to like the Dark Tower. He's already
Mm.
written the season one scripts, but like throughout the Dark Tower, there's like 9 books technically, but totally like the main ones are 8. And so all these different characters from all of his works, right, are all tied up in different like fucking rights issues. And so Mike Flanagan said what he's like, there's people who have like the shine basically that
Mhm.
I could switch out if I don't because I don't have the rights to that character and I could use someone like Carrie.
Yeah.
Like so he's saying like the characters he can like so I'm kind of thinking with these adaptations that he's doing, he's like building us towards his ultimate Dark Tower adaptation, and it'll involve the characters from his previous Stephen King adaptations.
That would be crazy if he ended up doing that, because like the best thing about Mike Flanagan and especially his TV shows is like he does an ensemble cast like nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
And if we got the Stephen King equivalent of the Avengers, the ultimate ensemble, like
Yeah,
Lord knows what Mike Flanagan can do with that.
exactly. And like I'm not that like beholden to like, oh well, the book used this character from this other story that nobody really knows or hasn't really been adapted. So it's like I don't really care if he swaps in somebody else that like would be very similar or that would totally work. Like whatever works to get the fucking Dark Tower on screen at this point, I don't give a shit. Just do it. If you gotta make a couple sacrifices along the way, human sacrifices, it's gotta be done. Whatever the Dark Lord demands. Or the Crimson King, excuse me. But I don't know. I'm hyped for anything Mike Flanagan is doing with Stephen King. And I think this one comes out all episodes at once on Prime. So
Oh, nice. Gonna
they're gonna
binge
be
that.
yeah, exactly. So I'm glad you're hyped too, because I feel like this is one people are pretty negative about online. But like, I
That's
mean,
so interesting.
look at Flanagan's track record, okay? Like, how dare any of us fucking not trust this guy? He has just delivered and delivered. So
Yeah.
bless his fucking heart. Amen. All right. The next trailer is probably the one I was most eager to talk to you about because this is one that I was not expecting to have any like updates on. But Ebenezer, starring Johnny Depp and directed by Ty West.
This looks really interesting, and I was surprised. I didn't know that the movie was called Ebenezer.
Yeah. Well, they can't call it Scrooge, or Christmas Carol. Like it's literally been adapted almost as much as any other, like almost as much as Carrie, probably more than Carrie at this point.
Yeah.
But
The thing that surprised me though is just like the entire marketing for this trailer is just Johnny Depp. Like
it's
there's
his
like
first
the guy.
comeback.
We always see like from the directors or the producers that brought you this, that brought you this. That I feel like this is the first time I've ever seen like from the actor that gave us Jack Sparrow, like like listed off all
Edward
of his
Scissorhands.
iconic characters.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, they're really just glazing Johnny
I
Depp.
mean, they're smart. This is exactly why people are going to go see this movie. Is like this is a huge thing for everybody. I feel like it might be the first. Is he the first actor to have been canceled technically and then make a comeback in Hollywood? And like, I mean, I guess they've all done it in their own ways. Like Louis C.K. just had a special on Netflix, but like that's not similar to be like showing up at Comic-Con in like costume and fucking
Yeah.
showing up at the director's panel to like surprise with the trailer, like and being in character the whole time. But I don't know.
I think him winning.
It.
I think him winning the trial helped with that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like this is like I feel like it hasn't really been done before, and I like the fact that the marketing is leaning into it because like they know that like the biggest hook for this movie is going to be the fact that it's Johnny Depp's first big role in the U.S. since like fucking what 2016 or before that.
Yeah,
when all this started.
Yeah. Wow. I guess it has been that long with all this
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. Well, I mean, and like you were saying, like this story has been adapted so many times. I don't think anyone is necessarily like looking for another adaptation of this.
Yeah.
So yeah, like they really do have to just lean on Johnny Depp's side of it. It was also funny, like it also just goes to show like the difference in fame between like Johnny Depp and then like you and I love Ty West, but like
Oh yeah.
there was no mention of Ty West directing this movie. Like,
Well, because it's like what we were talking about, or like what people have been saying online a lot is like, oh, Ty West and like his movies are really popular within like the horror communities. But it's like outside of that, like a lot of people aren't as familiar with like those
he's still
movies.
very niche.
Exactly. And that's the thing is like I don't think that way because in my life he's like one of the film gods right
Yeah.
now. But the fact that he's directing is very exciting to me. I still wrote it down in my notes, Johnny Depp and Ty West. But Johnny Depp being back, I think, is exactly the right marketing for this movie because nobody wants an Ebenezer Scrooge movie. People were making a lot of fun. Like there was like it inspired this whole thread of like bringing up the worst movie taglines in history because the tagline was like before he was Scrooge, he was Ebenezer. And they're like, he was always Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yeah.
Like his name was always Ebenezer. It wasn't like his name is just Scrooge. It's like his Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yeah, Scrooge is not a title. At least
Yeah.
I don't think it is. but
But it's like I don't care. I don't think this movie is like after I see the trailer, you know, I think we could tell it's gonna be more along the lines of like a Jack Sparrow kind of a in this vibe, which I'm perfectly happy. Johnny Depp doing his weird manic thing in fucking prosthetics is exactly what I've been missing in my life.
I also liked the little nod they gave to Friday or Nightmare on Elm Street, you know, with him getting pulled into the bed.
Oh yeah. I was wondering if I was actually about to ask if you caught that too, because that was just a delight. And I was like, I mean, the fact that now it's happened twice, let's do it a third time. I love Johnny Depp getting sucked into a bed. But he just looks like I love the like humbug and like he's
Yeah.
yelling at like humbug, humbug, like three
Yeah.
times or whatever. He's just like looks like he's firing on all cylinders. And I know like just for me, I'll be there opening day because I've just been waiting for this for a long time. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that you think that it looks good though.
Yeah, I mean,
Or at least interesting.
I really like Johnny Depp. Not nearly at the level as you.
That's
So
probably for the best.
I'm curious of this. I don't know if I'm gonna be there in theaters. I mean, if there's nothing else in the theaters, maybe I'll go see it. But I'm very curious. I'm an AMC A-lister. I'm gonna go see it in theaters.
Thank
I
you.
got I got to use my tickets. So
I know you. I was about to say, I know you fucking have the AMC A-lister. And if you're not going to use it just to see Ebenezer, like what else is coming out? Calm down. I will calm down. Okay, let's switch gears. What do you want to talk about next?
Let's talk about Marvel.
Yeah.
Marvel's been, I mean, at least for people our age, I feel like Marvel's been kind of on the back burner. I haven't really been that interested in anything Marvel for a little while. But the announcements of the new Black Panther and Ghost Rider, I'm very interested now. So like let's start with Black Panther. What a hard thing to figure out of who's gonna carry on the mantle after the sudden loss.
I know. I do not envy them for having to deal with that, and especially so soon. But the fact that, like, I think they did the best. Like, that's the thing. I feel like I'm actually excited about Marvel now because they made some fucking good moves this week.
Yeah.
And
so
David Johnson being cast as the new Black Panther, I mean, literally could not be more perfect.
I was like,
T'Challa's son.
I saw that announcement. I'm like, holy shit. I mean, you and I love David Johnson. I don't love that we're going to get less movies with him because he's going to be busy in the Marvel train.
At least he's going to get hella fucking money. Good for him.
I am very happy for him to get that Marvel money. And also like for him to get to work with Ryan Coogler, like it's going to be great. David Johnson is like perfect. I was worried that they were going to go with, you know, someone older or I don't know what they were going to do. But like David Johnson he's like a real up and comer. So I'm really happy that he has this shot. And like from The Long Walk, we know that he can do accents. So like he's gonna have like the perfect Wakanda accent. It's gonna be awesome. Like I'm really excited.
Yeah. I mean, even in Alien Romulus, And like if you hear him in real life and you hear his lovely British accent, you're like, wow, I had no idea. So yeah, I feel like I barely ever hear him speak in his normal voice. That's how you know he's really fucking good.
Yeah, when I
Gonna be
saw
so good in the Wakanda accent. You're so right though.
yeah, when I saw the announcement and like he was doing his little speech and he had his natural accent, I was like, oh, I can't wait for the Wakanda accent.
He'll nail it. And the fact that like he'll be I mean, I'm assuming working with Lupita Nyong'o as well,
Mhm.
is gonna be exciting for him, but also just like to be able to put on the fucking suit. I feel like people have been pretty happy about it, but then I also see other people being like angry about it, and I don't know why, but I don't care. I feel like what more could you ask for? Like,
Yeah,
he's literally the best person for the job. I
like
don't know who else you have in mind.
I'm sure people don't like it because they're like it's still too soon, like things like that. I don't know, but like Black Panther is an important character, like in pop culture. So like I would like
Yeah.
there's been time. It's the character's son, so like there's some sense to it, and it's like I would rather have Black Panther in the zeitgeist than not at all.
Yeah.
So and yeah, David Johnson, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go see that. I'm definitely gonna go. I'll see anything that David Johnson's in.
Yeah.
So
After
that
seeing two of his movies in theaters already with The Long Walk and Alien Romulus, I'm like, this guy's a fucking movie star. I
yeah,
really think so. He's gonna
he's
get an Oscar in the next couple years. Maybe not next couple years, but next 10 years for sure.
yeah, like he's got a huge career ahead of him. And
Yeah.
then we got the other announcement of someone who already has a huge career, and I'm really excited though for this casting. Ryan Gosling as Ghost Rider. Uh,
Yeah, please. You're the Ghost Rider expert, and
go,
you are the one who forced me to watch that fucking original film in the first place, and probably the sequel too. And you know what? I do love that movie just because it's like purely unhinged Nick Cage, which is always great.
the first
Um,
Ghost Rider is not great, but the visuals look fantastic.
it's so fun.
The second one is actually really fun.
I don't remember that one as much, but the first one, it just is burned into my brain. But really, honestly, with this news, my first thought was, I hope Eva Mendes reprises her role from the
Oh
Nicolas
yeah.
Cage one because she's actually married to Ryan Gosling, so
So
that would be perfect. But
it
what's
is
your thoughts?
it is going to be interesting who he ends up playing because they haven't said that he's playing the character is Johnny Blaze. That's who Nicolas Cage was. So they've just said that he's Ghost Rider. So I don't know if
Is
he's
there
gonna
multiple person or
there.
different
Yeah,
people?
yeah. There have been multiple people who carry the mantle of Ghost Rider.
Do
So
they have cool names like Johnny Cage?
I only know two, and I can't remember the second one's name. But essentially Ghost Rider is just a slave to the devil kind of. So I mean Ryan Gosling can do anything and I am excited for him to do this. I only have one thing that I'm worried about. I don't necessarily love that Sean Levy is set to direct it because Sean Levy's he makes very entertaining movies, but like I don't want a Ghost Rider movie that has quippy jokes like Deadpool. Like that's the thing I'm worried about.
Well, he just did the third Deadpool. He didn't do the first two.
I think
And
he
he mostly did like he's done a lot of Stranger Things. And then he's done other movies with like Ryan Reynolds. But he
yeah,
didn't direct the first two, but he did direct Deadpool and Wolverine for sure. But I think like from his stuff on Stranger Things, like he can take it seriously when he needs to.
yeah, I like I want a very dark Ghost Rider movie. Like
I see
I
that.
want it to be heavy. Like you're talking about demons and like being enslaved by the devil to essentially be his messenger. And Ghost Rider kills people. Ghost Rider
Hmm.
does not have a no kill rule. Ghost Rider like kills people and sends their souls to hell. So like
Nice.
I
That's
want
fucked.
I want like I this would have been the perfect thing. And Marvel has them. They've worked with them before. Like I would have loved a Sam Raimi or even better, a Scott Derrickson. Bring him back to
Hmm.
do like a horror Ghost Rider movie. Like
Yeah.
I would have loved that. I'm not out on it.
I
Sean
see what you're
Levy,
saying though.
Sean Levy, he knows how to do good movies. So I'm excited for that. But for my selfish purposes, I want something dark and horrifying.
I would love that if I think like especially with Clayface coming out.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but like I feel like Marvel's gonna want to try to like rival that. They did Werewolf by Night, but I don't think that
Yeah,
was even.
do it like that. Like
But even that wasn't fully like horror. Like it was like old school horror, but like give me like a full blown like I mean I guess what they were trying to do with Blade, which like Kevin Feige's like I'm so embarrassed that never worked out with Mahershala. And I'm like God,
uh,
it just seems like that one's so easy to make. But I personally love that Ryan Gosling like lobbied for this. He came to them with the pitch for the character and the idea that he had.
yeah.
So he clearly loves this. I know he's doing like less of like the interesting kind of like indie movies that he used to do and like also like just a lot of variation in roles and now he's doing like bigger movies so he can like be with his kids more and
Yeah.
also do movies that the kids can watch. So I'm wondering if that's the case, then I don't know if they will go full horror with this Ghost Rider or maybe they will. They should answer like if DC has the first horror film that's like an actual superhero movie like or I guess supervillain, this would be perfect because I don't is Ghost Rider like a hero or is he a villain?
He's
An
kind of
anti-hero, I
he's
guess.
kind of an anti-hero. Like his whole thing is that he's like a slave to the devil, but then he kind of breaks free of that, but then he still delivers
Souls. Oh,
judgment on people. So yeah, I mean they probably won't go full rated R unless Clayface like makes close to $1 billion. They
yeah.
probably wouldn't do that. But yeah, I want it to have a heavy tone. I don't want kind of the quirky, quippy Marvel that we've had for a while. Like give us something a little more distinct that stands alone on itself.
Yeah, that's true. And I guess we'll know more because they're working. So I didn't realize that this will be the second collaboration like in a row with Sean Levy and
because
Ryan
they
Gosling.
just did like a Star Wars movie
They're
that
filming it, I
hasn't
think,
come
right
out.
now. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's in production or post production, but it's Star Wars Starfighter.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe that will be something where it's like
They
that'll
must
give us.
have they must have loved working together on that
Yeah,
movie.
maybe that was like gave them maybe they got the quippy like fun action stuff out of the way and out of their system in Star Wars Starfighter is what I was gonna say. So maybe it's good hope that like they got that out. Now they want to do something more horrific. Let's hope.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If they just do the same quippy energy with Ghost Rider, I just don't think a guy who's like a flaming skull for a head like that. I don't think he's quipping. I don't think he's making jokes. I think that
Yeah.
guy's pretty fucking serious. I don't know
Yeah.
about you. Like Nick Cage can make jokes all he wants, but
Yeah.
like not when he's, the skull. I feel like he doesn't. Does he talk really? He talks a
Uh,
little bit, but he's pretty fucking
yeah.
serious. Like there's no jokes.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the character when he's in full Ghost Rider is not a talker.
Exactly. He's like a fucking slasher. So like I'm hoping I agree. I hope they fucking do it. And if not, then way to just kill the vibe, Marvel. Cause like this took a lot. Like it seems like I guess they also played new footage from Avengers Doomsday that people said looked great. And so it was like cool because it seemed like the trailer was kind of mid.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping this is good for them, but also like I'm pretty over the fucking superhero shit. So if it all crashed and burned and like there was no more superhero movies, like I really wouldn't give a shit. But I'm
Well,
not rooting for them to fail. So if they are succeeding, like I'm happy for them that they made this news. These were great moves and I think really smart.
yeah. But I mean, in Ryan Reynolds we trust because even though he's not doing like the smaller movies anymore, like we saw with
You
Project
mean Ryan Gosling?
Yeah, sorry, Ryan Gosling.
That's a dangerous statement to say. And Ryan Reynolds, we trust. I mean, I love him in certain ways, but in other ways, he's a bit much. So,
Well,
Ryan
yeah,
Gosling, yes, we trust him.
Ryan Gosling, even though, yeah, even his big movies like Project Hail Mary, wonderful
Incredible.
movie. So like
Mhm.
I think the only movie he did recently that I didn't really like very much was the Fall Guy, the
Mm,
stunt,
yeah,
but like, yeah, I'll go see anything that he does. It's gonna be fine.
yeah. So, I mean, honestly, we've got a lot of good stuff to look forward to. I feel like this. You're right. Overall, this was a pretty good, exciting Comic Con. I feel like there's still new stuff that's coming out every day. I think today they just dropped a new Jumanji the third trailer, and like
Oh,
there's new shit that just continues to come out. So I love this week. It's also Shark Week, by the way, people. So this is just a good time to be alive. And I never say that. So I mean it.
all right. Well, let's take a little break and then get into Scary Movie 6.
Guess who's back?
Shit.
Back again.
My God, he stabbed her. Not her. My pronouns are they, them. He stabbed them.
Be back. Attention, please.
There's a serial killer on the loose.
Hello, Tuesday.
I have been preparing for this for years. Hello, Mother. You look like shit.
Should we hug? I really want to, but I'm a Republican now, so I'm supposed to be racist.
Oh, girl, I think all white people are racist anyway. Come here.
Okay. Oh.
This looks like good time for me.
Hey there, we heard tell of a Halloween party. We're here to drink, play bad music, do some half gay shit.
Why just half gay?
Sink.
Stop smiling.
Run, bitch, run!
Mom, Santa gave me a severed arm. Be sure to thank him.
What the?
Cause we get a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me.
Somebody help! Help!
Bitch, we on break. So you handle yours. I'll be right or here eating my falafel and my pork rinds. Bitch.
Guess who's back?
All right, it's time. Let's talk about Scary Movie. I'm just going to say Scary Movie 2026 because I don't want to call it Scary Movie 6.
Call it Scary Movie 6. I can't say 2026 every time. Let's just call it Scary Movie 6. We're gonna do it. That's what it is. And that they just have to accept it at this point. But yeah, let's fucking do it. Like, oh shit, son.
The much anticipated return of the Wayans brothers to the franchise. And we talked about the last 4, and we talked about, there is a very clear difference between the first 2 and then the second 2. The second 2, not bad, just very different from when the Wayans are involved and when they're not.
100%. 3 and 4 still hold a special place in my heart because they are funny in their like very specific ways. But yeah, rewatching them this past like couple months ago when we were gearing up for Scary Movie 6, it's like, man, there really is such a hardcore drop off that like you just don't realize because Anna Faris and
Regina Hall.
Yeah, Regina Hall, like those two at least like really carry a lot for 3 and 4, but like just the Wayans in general, you can tell overall. And I think just like really thinking about them really hit me hard. And now seeing 6, I feel like this movie really reiterates the fact that like the Wayans are back. It feels so much like better to be in the same vibe as 1 and 2 again.
Yeah, this, when it comes to me ranking the scary movies, I liked the first 2 more than I liked this one, but I liked this one more than I liked 3 and 4.
100%. Yeah.
So, can you remind me what was kind of the deal with them leaving
originally
the franchise after 2? Because I know like the Weinsteins are involved in it, but I can't remember. And I remember you telling me at one point. But
as with all tragic Hollywood stories, the Weinsteins are involved because Miramax is the company who made Scary Movie 1 and 2. And Marlon and Sean Wayans, they pitched their idea for the 3rd Scary Movie when they were also pitching for White Chicks. But I guess because their initial pay offer for the 3rd film was like the same as what they got for the first movie, but not the pay bump they had received for the second movie, which also was a success. They couldn't come to an agreement. So the Wayans were like, they wouldn't pay us enough, so we fucking left. And they were like, we'll do White Chicks with you guys, and then you can continue Scary Movie franchise without us. But Um, basically, Anna Faris was told by them not to star the third one, but she was under a 3-picture contract and didn't want to be sued by the production by Miramax, so she didn't. She didn't like want to fuck that up. So I think that's totally understandable. But apparently they hadn't even talked until 2025 when they reached out and said that they had the rights back to the franchise. They were back with Miramax, going to make the new one, and they wanted her back. So I feel like this movie is healing in a lot of ways, not just the comedy, but like behind the scenes too.
I loved all the ongoing jokes between Anna Faris and Regina Hall, and just be like, they paid us so much money to do 3 and 4.
Yeah, she's like, it was a lot of money for a girl. There's not much to learn there. Honestly, it was just so great seeing everyone back, but Anna Faris especially just right back into the swing of things. And it's like, why did she ever leave our movie screens? Because I love her.
Well, it's because Chris Pratt is a piece of shit and
That's
left
true.
her to take care of their special needs son, and so she's focused on doing that.
Yeah. Well, I think she remarried at least, so thank God.
Oh, that's good.
Because fuck him. But you're right. But yeah, so it's a complicated way to make this movie. But then I guess just 2024 at CinemaCon, Miramax announced that they were doing the new Scary Movie, and in October that year, that was like a few months later, they announced that they had reached an agreement with the Wayans to come back.
Nice.
And that was when we were like, fuck yes. That was super fucking exciting, especially because it was like the downfall of the Weinsteins and, you know, the Wayans back, and just the fact that like we could get back to the comedy from 1 and 2 is incredible.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that it actually happened.
For real. Well, and you know, Miramax and Paramount have got to be happy because this movie crushed it at the box office. It had a budget of $30 million and did 231 worldwide. So huge success. Pretty much on par with the first movie. The first one did a little bit better, but this one outperformed the second one. So I feel like we're gonna get more scary movies to come because people clearly wanted this. Now, the weird thing is that it feels like maybe this is just a Wayans thing. Like, there's been a lot of hate for this movie.
Yes.
And
which is weird because don't you think there was like a ton of hype for it before it came out? Like, I feel like people were looking forward to it and were excited and were like, yes, we're getting back. And then as soon as it came out, it felt like everything changed. And I don't like when I saw the movie, I was like, this is not like an offensive film that like is like it's not offensive to me as a fan of Scary Movie 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Like this feels like we're back to like our fine, you know, perfect form from those movies. So
Yeah.
I also was confused because it clearly made a shit ton of money. So everyone went and saw it. But like, why the fuck why is there so much hate online? I could barely find any positive comments when I was doing research for this.
So I've thought about this, and I think so when the first 2 came out, like we were in school, you know, like, and this was like super edgy, and you know, like it was the right place, right time for us at our age. And then this one, I really feel like people have a hard time lightening up and kind of going back to that place of just being able to laugh at stupid things. This movie is so stupid, unapologetically stupid. And
in the best way.
Yeah. And like, I think people maybe take themselves a little too seriously, and I don't know what maybe they were expecting elevated comedy.
That joke was so good. Like, you know, Judd Apatow.
I think that might be my favorite joke of the entire movie.
I was trying to think about my favorite joke. We'll have to get there later because I still need time. There's so many that are just over the top and amazing. But you're right. This is like the dumbest movie of all time. But like that is exactly what all four scary movies are dumb. But like 1 and 2 and 6, I feel like have such a common thread of like they're dumb, but they're so full. Like chock full of fucking jokes, like joke,
Yeah.
joke, 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 joke. There's no downtime. Like when we saw this in theaters, like I don't know, our theater, everyone was enjoying themselves. There was a lot of laughing. And it was like when I rewatched this now on VOD, I'm like, I missed so many jokes because I was laughing over them. And there's so many background things. Like
Yeah.
this really is just exactly how I felt with 1 and 2, where it's like you can rewatch it a ton of times and you're still finding new things, or like you freeze frame and you're like reading all the background stuff and it's fucking hilarious. Like I just appreciate that. And the fact of like how many jokes are fit into this compared to like 3 and 4, you know, this is on par with 1 and 2, where it's like they're just fucking, they're throwing everything. And I personally am confused why people all of a sudden people were like, this is just terrible. And I'm a huge fan, but I think this is dumb. And I'm like, they're dumb on purpose. Like, when have they ever been smart? Like, do you think maybe comedies are just judged too harshly because they're not really a thing anymore? Like, it's all streaming movies that are comedies. I feel like the biggest comedy movie in theaters, there's a few, but it's like they don't tend to do that great anymore. It's more like, that was our, like you're saying in high school, we also grew up with comedies being like movies we would go to the theater to see with friends.
Yeah. I mean, like you and I've talked about this a lot of like, we don't think that comedy is dead. We think that people just drown in their nostalgia of when all they watched was comedies because they had nothing else going on in life. Like, that's why the Judd Apatow elevated comedy thing hit so hard. It was so funny to me because it's like, people do talk about that era of like it was a life-changing moment in time. And it's great comedy, but there's been a lot of stuff since then. And I don't know, I feel like people just have a hard time of letting loose and enjoying things. Like, one of my favorite comedies of all time, like it came out in the last 5 years, like that movie Joyride. I laughed my ass off and I cried in that movie. I'm like, this movie's brilliant.
That's what I'm saying.
And
they're not dead. It's just people just think because, well, I would say like the studios don't really like release as many of them, but like we still get them on streaming. And in general, like I personally like feel like we all go back and rewatch, but maybe it's just because people love to criticize now. And like, it's weird, but like the anger that people feel when they watch or like when they get mad about stuff, it like gives them the same hit of dopamine as they would get if they were watching something that they were genuinely enjoying. So I do feel like it's such a slippery slope for people. And also like, if you just don't have, like, I had no expectations for this movie except for like 1 and 2, but I was like, I doubt it'll come close, but like, hopefully it's in the same vein. And I felt like, wow, I was really genuinely pleased, and this movie over delivered in my opinion. But everyone's talking about how dumb and all the stupid spoofs and all the like cutaway gags of different movies that don't have anything to connect to the movie. And I'm like, has anyone seen Scary Movie before?
Yeah.
Have you guys seen any of these? Because that's what they fucking do.
Are we all trying to lie and say that we didn't grow up watching Family Guy? Like,
thank you. That's exactly. And there was a few of those, but I'm like, I don't mind because like this movie is to parody horror films, no? So fit them in where they can.
This one even parodies a little bit more than horror movies.
They always do. I feel like, especially, I mean, they even had the Matrix stuff in the first one, and they do all that. But it's funny, and like the commercial with the Nike shit, and it's like they do very specific shit that like people are like, oh, there's so many references. I don't think like, anyone's always going to be able to get all of them. But I'm like, I never got all the references in the original either, in all 4 scary movies that we've seen and that we enjoy. I don't think the first time I ever watched them, I didn't get 100% of the jokes. There's still some probably that I don't get, at least in Scary Movie 1 and 2. Because I'm like, I don't think that joke's for me. I'm not sure. But like, that doesn't kill my enjoyment. That's like something that like maybe one day I'll like understand, or maybe I'll look it up, fuck.
Yeah, I mean, you can look at this movie and think of it like a requel,
Yeah,
and
a rebooty cool, a rebooty call. As when they say a rebooty call, and then he's like, so what are the rebooty call rules? With Jordan says that. Love it.
Well, and I thought this was a really good requel. Like it brought back all the legacy characters. It brought back all the legacy characters. But then also the new characters they introduced were really funny. They were really good. Like in this movie, it makes fun of Scream 5 and 6 a lot. And like those movies are really good requels where the new crew they are as good as the old crew, and so it
Mhm.
keeps the story going. And I thought this was very much like that, and it was ironic that it was parodying it, but
Yeah, and it's not like they only like the thing was I think a lot of people felt like this I saw online people were saying like that, oh, this, it must have been written a while ago because it's parodying Scream 5 and 6. But I'm like, a while ago? Like Scream 5 came out in 2022.
yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Scream 6 was 2024. So like that's not that long ago, people.
Yeah.
That's crazy talk. Or maybe it's 2023, but still, it feels like it's pretty fucking nuts that people are saying that kind of shit when I'm like, first off, the idea behind what they're doing here and what they said that they actually had the ending before they wrote the rest of the movie and they knew where they wanted it to end, which
I
was
believe that.
parodying the idea of like the passing of the torch in these franchises between the young cast taking the torch from the old cast, and this movie being like, fuck them kids.
Yeah.
This is our franchise, especially because the Wayans are back. It's like, we're not fucking giving this up. Like, we're taking it back now. And I think that's exactly why they went with Scream 5 and mostly Scream 5. Like, they threw in some Scream 6, like the opening, but like,
Yeah.
that's because that's a great scene. I mean, they could have done, it, but it's like, that would be even longer ago. Like, that was even more like in the past. So, I personally think that they spruce in like and they include a lot of more like more late, I guess like
really
this year even like they have Terrifier, they have The Substance, they have fucking a lot of more like relevant shit for right now, but they still, I think the framework of Scream 5 in general works really well for this movie and what the ending is like. You need that in order to make it work.
Yeah, this is really like a post 2020 parody. Like it doesn't I was expecting there to be a lot more stuff from like A24 and like the 2000 teens. And
I was wondering that too, because that was something other people were wondering or just commenting online. And I think I saw people saying that those movies are just too obscure, like Hereditary or like Midsommar or like, but I'm like, are they? Like, I feel like they're not really. Maybe they are, but like they're like, or Pearl or, Pearl maybe, or what like I could maybe understand. But still, it feels like I'm okay with that. Maybe this will encourage them to include some next time, but it's like they did have an It Follows reference, even though they joke about that movie being way too obscure, because it's true. Like the horror community will definitely get all of these, but like they're going to be including ones that most of the general public will actually recognize, like Megan. And I love that they had Hard Eyes Mask in there. And obviously, like Ghostface. I'm just glad that Ghostface was back as the killer because I think that's like my favorite thing from the first Scary movie.
Yeah. I mean, you can definitely tell that they shot this movie out of order. Like the whole opening was probably the last thing they shot because also it references Tiana Taylor not winning the Oscar.
They did
all that
reshoots.
and like that just happened. Like
they did a bunch of reshoots to include all the more like recent stuff, including like the Michael like parody trailer with Kenan Thompson. They added a bunch of stuff in and like the ice references, I want to say. That might have all been in like April reshoots before the movie came out in fucking May or June, right? Like the first week of June, which is crazy, like turnaround. But yeah, that's why they were able to like, and the weapon stuff I thought was great.
Yeah.
Just like including, I mean, I don't know exactly what all they did, but a lot of the stuff that they included, I feel like maybe the K-pop Demon Hunters reference was probably something that they also included.
Yeah.
Especially since that won the Oscar for Best Original Song. But like, you can tell that like, I don't think this movie was like the script was written previously or like the script was Scream, parodying Scream 5 was like just like jumbled around and like, like really lazy or whatever. I thought that was so smart. And I love the fact that they're making fun of Scream 5 because that's what like the first one does so well. Right. And it's funny because it's like Scream already is like pretty meta and aware as a franchise and they're like making fun of other movies. So I think it's the right choice for them to go back to Ghostface and Scream and that parody, right? I mean, it's what made them in the first place with the what's up. And like, honestly, chill or like high or partying Ghostface is my absolute favorite thing ever in the world. So I'm always down to have him in the movie as the killer. But yeah, I just think people need to just relax because this movie can't hurt you. And if you do hate it, like, and you love the other ones, please let us know what the fuck is going on in your head. I would love to hear it, because I think we're just the minority and we love this film. So we're here to defend it. But I'd love to hear from people who have, I mean, if you could explain it to me in a way that's not just like, it's dumb. Like, that's obviously we all agree it's dumb. Okay. But I think that's the point. And, but yeah, let's see what people hit us with.
It's dumb, but it's very fun. And it's a real good time. There's several moments where I am laughing really hard. Now, I will say, like I said, I like the first two more, and that could also just be nostalgia. But like another movie that this reminded me of that I liked more than Scary Movie, was The Blackening.
Yes.
And like that's also a parody, and I thought that was hysterical, and I felt like this was just a notch down. Like, it's still hilarious, but like The Blackening surprised me. I thought that was such a hilarious movie.
Oh yeah, honestly, it felt like that it could be an extension with the Wayans. If they were in that movie, it'd be they would fit right in. But 100%, I was thinking of The Blackening a lot. I can't decide. I feel like this one just references so many of my favorite films, so I feel like I'm going to give it the edge. But also, I mean, there's a whole scene of Terrifier in this movie, and I'm
just so happy we got a Terrifier.
So happy, and the best part is that it's not even a parody. It's literally exactly the scene from fucking Terrifier 3, where he does give children fucking body parts. That's minus the ball sack. That's pretty much identical.
And then they don't do the part where he blows up all the kids, you know? So
exactly. they underdid it. Like, they didn't even, like, they basically just used that scene, which was great. Just inserted Cindy as like a doesn't give a fuck mom, which was great. But there's like this, there's so many good things in here that are like some of my favorite jokes, I think, are like background jokes, or like random, like little tiny things. But like for me, the thing that got me towards the beginning was the Final Destination theme park in the background.
Oh my God.
That was some fucking good shit.
When the roller coaster just launches off the rails like it's going into space while someone's just talking, like if you weren't looking, you would miss that joke entirely. Or the Ferris wheel falling over. So goddamn funny.
It was great. And like the two, like on the same track the two cars going in the opposite directions, and they just crash into each other. All the people just get rocketed from them. And it's like so fucking funny. It's like the park where everyone dies. And then it's like that fucking kid that they made fun of they have the kid dressed exactly like the one from the opening scene of Final Destination Bloodlines. And he's like, I survived, and all thanks to my lucky penny. I was like, that's some good shit. And then the fact that he got killed by like a runaway cart was just the cherry on top. But
I also loved that because like we talk about like comedies always go to streaming now, and it feels like comedies are made with the whole like second screen viewing in mind. So like all the jokes are very punctuated so that you make sure you hear them. And like this movie like rewards you for watching because there's no sounds, there's nothing. It's just all in the background while the other people are talking and they're making jokes. And so like it rewards you seeing these hilarious things for actually watching the movie. Like,
yeah,
I love
they're
that.
Literally like, she's like, oh, I just took your boner pills, and then like she's getting this huge fucking boner in her pants, and like there's funny shit happening in front of your face. But that's the best part. You're 100% right. This movie gives you like, it rewards you for not fucking watching two screens at once. Like if you're actually locked in on the film, and maybe that's what it was. Maybe people were just like maybe they just don't feel like they have to pay attention to a comedy anymore. But I think that's one of the things I love about the Wayans is like even the littlest jokes are sometimes like they're so good and so incredible that in other movies they might be like the best jokes, but it's like here they're like the small ones. Like the whole Get Out sequence, I think we can both agree is incredible. Jordan Peele gave his blessing. He couldn't be in the movie apparently, but the fact that like before, I think my favorite part of that, which was thankfully not shown in the trailers, is when Shorty's outside smoking and he sees that guy fucking running up at him in the tidy whities, and he's like, the fuck? And he's running just like the guy in fucking Get Out. And then in the next, it's like Ray running, and he's like, "I'm gonna catch you. I'm gonna get you." He's like, "You stole my outfit, you little critter." And I'm just like, what the fuck? It is the funniest shit ever, and it's like such a little like tiny little thing, but like fucking. I think it's just because Ray is not as in this movie as I thought he might be.
Yeah.
So every moment of his really just I feel like stands out to me. I don't know about you.
He's great. His whole speech when he was at church when they were doing the sinners reference. And he's
Yeah,
like,
I'm not
gay no more.
The pastor in that, he's like, "Oh, he's got a lot of miles." Like all the shit that he said, he's like, "Oh no, he's still got some shit to work through." And he's like, "Men."
Well, we got to talk about the opening, because the opening of these movies is always very important to the rest of the movies. And this opening is great. I was not expecting Tiana Taylor to be in the opening, and then also for Carmen Electra to pop up. I'm like, oh, they brought her back, and that really sets the tone for the rest of the movie. They bring back everybody they've ever worked with.
Almost, but yes, like I think Shannon Elizabeth is the one that everyone's like, she's not in this movie, and she was like in the first one, pretty big character, but I heard she wasn't asked. But they did say like they just couldn't include everyone in the first one, but they're like, since it's successful, hopefully we can include her in the next one. I heard they also heard that Melissa Barrera, once she was fired from Scream 7, she said she wanted to participate in this, but they didn't know. And so they were like, oh my God, if we make Scary Movie 7, she's in. And I was like, that would be so fucking good. People would lose.
She will go off like no bar.
And I love that they
I wonder
had like a joke about that though in this movie.
I wonder though if they would greenlight that, because Paramount is the distributor for it. And she's mad at Paramount also. Like, they were involved in it, but
Miramax, it looks like Paramount's the distributor. So
but the distributors, they do have a lot of say.
Well, fuck them. If they can't laugh at themselves, then they should just fucking get out of the game. But yeah, 100%. Tiana Taylor was such a shock, but the fact that it's like she's like, I'm doing the opening scene, and then Carmen Electra's like, been there, done that.
Yeah.
Like the passing of the torch, weirdly, is like almost making me emotional right now, because I love that opening scene. I mean, I love the second one too, but the one with Carmen Electra is just so iconic, I think.
Yeah, it's incredible. And
this one lives up to it, because it's like it parodies exactly the right shit out of the Scary Movie or Scream 6 opening with Samara Weaving.
Yeah.
But also like it just uses Tiana Taylor to like at her best. Like this is her just going off, and I love it.
I mean, other than Tiana Taylor having the most insane abs ever, and they make the joke of her getting stabbed and the knife just bends because her abs are so strong.
He's like, I'm Tiana Taylor. My abs have abs.
Like, that was hysterical. But I think my favorite part is when she's like, I'm black, and then the woman starts eating her pearls.
And she's like, what? She's like, spit the pearls out. Nobody wants your shit. Because she says, oh no. She's like, because he's like, oh wait, you're black, like on the phone. And she goes, no, I'm not black. I'm black. All caps, no cap, but caps. Fucking great. And that's when everyone at the fucking restaurant gets so like scared, and it's just fucking good shit.
Yeah, it's so funny.
And then the fact that like when she gets out to the alleyway, and then you're like, okay, so they're gonna do the kill scene, but then the fact that she's like cuckoo, and then just, like all the fucking guys, all the fucking bros from the neighborhood,
that's some
all
Avengers shit.
Yeah, it was so great. I was like, this is incredible.
The guy pulls up in a lime scooter.
And he's like, I thought you were gonna make like a or whatever. Like I heard the noise, but she's like, no, that's a pigeon, bitch.
Yeah.
Like this is like an eagle.
I also thought it was funny that they're doing the meta Scream thing where like Scream has the Stab franchise, and then this has the horror movie franchise.
That was like another layer to it, which was very Scream 4 reminiscent. Which the fake openings of Stab movies, incredible work there. And then the fact that it was like Tuesday, not Wednesday,
for legal reasons.
That's just a fucking great joke. I know it's dumb, but like we said, this movie's dumb and we like it, so fuck off. But the fact that it's just so stupid. It's so fucking dumb. But I love the fact that the actress she nails it. She's great. And the whole bit about the Judd Apatow films is great. Like elevated comedy. I was like, this is exactly what I was hoping from this movie already. And it's like we're only through the opening scene.
Yeah. It's so funny. You sent me some categories.
Yeah.
Should we just talk through the rest of this through these categories?
Yeah, for the movie, because I think that's the best way to do this movie, because it's like there's so many fucking great sequences. We can kind of go through the movie, but let's try and like just limit ourselves to have one pick for each category. Okay. So as we're talking through the rest of the movie, the categories we'll be going through is best cameo, best returning actor, funniest performance, and then if you want to give like 3 honorable mentions.
Okay.
I'll give us each 3. So should we start off with the best cameo? Because I feel like that's pretty, I don't know, unless you want to keep going, because there's a lot more in this fucking movie. And I guess some of my favorites might be towards the end.
Well, here, let's do this. Is your favorite cameo, is it Tiana Taylor?
No.
Okay.
She might be my second, but I would say like she's one of my, I'll give Tiana Taylor one of my honorable mentions.
Yeah, she's great, but well, I mean, what's your cameo?
I think it's gotta be fucking Anthony Anderson and Shaq.
Yeah.
I know technically they were in Scary Movie 3 and 4, so they're returning, but like they were just so not on the table for this movie at all. And the fact that they were like unmasked at the end, and at first you think that Shaq's gonna be Kevin Hart because he's like on his knees, and then he's like, no, Kevin said he wouldn't do it, and that little guy fucking does everything. And it was just like, that's so fucking great. I just felt like that literally took my breath away in the theater, because I was just like, this is everything I've ever hoped for. And the whole meta ending of like, you did Scary Movie 3 and 4 without us.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know you guys weren't in it anymore.
It was so funny. And I mean, I love so much that like the entire movie essentially revolves around the Wayans being mad about Scary Movie 3 and 4. Like that is the driving point of the entire movie.
I agree. And I think that's why like you have to use Scream as the framework to get to this ending of like, fuck. Because it's also like kind of fuck the reboot rules of like every other, because it's not just horror films or like Scream, but it's like almost every franchise at this point has passed the torch or tried to and failed.
We're seeing this with Avengers Doomsday. They've introduced all these new characters, but then like the trailer comes out and we see hardly anything of them. They're like back to Robert Downey Jr., back to Captain America.
We got Thor.
Everyone's back. All the X-Men, even though we've sent them off like 3 times at this
Patrick
point.
Stewart has literally died as Charles Xavier like more times than he's been alive, I would guess, at this point. It's insane that he's back again. But hey, I don't care because he's incredible. But you're right. It feels like this movie, at least, is like kind of just a big fucking middle finger to every franchise that's doing that shit. And that you might be expected this franchise too. I think that's what the idea is that like, fuck that. We didn't get to be a part of this franchise as long as we should have. And it's ours. So we're taking it fucking back. And that was like, yes. It's also like a big middle finger to the Weinsteins, which fuck yes, we should all support that.
Well, my favorite cameo, because I was not expecting it at all, was the White Chicks cameo.
I was going to say that too, but then I was like, well, technically that is Marlon Wayans, but that was amazing in the substance sequence. And like, I mean, there was any number of people I thought that could have been coming at that back with the Epstein files unredacted, which was a nice touch. But I was not expecting like fucking Tiffany from White Chicks, and that was incredible. And I think they are like, I don't think it's officially greenlit, but they're like, if this does well, we want to do White Chicks too. And I hope that they do. I just rewatched it. It's on Netflix and it's fucking hilarious.
They kind of have to at this point. Like this movie was this movie was huge. So like, yeah, why not take a flyer on that?
And that was probably one of the biggest laughs in my theater, and I imagine in most theaters, because I don't think there was any hint that that was going to happen in this movie, and it was so delightful.
Like I think I was expecting Demi Moore because like we just watched like you and I were just talking about I Love Boosters, and she is great in that movie, and so like I could see her just getting in on the joke.
Yeah,
but
I
yeah,
mean,
like,
they even make the joke of like, why are you even try like, don't try so hard for an Oscar Tuesday. Like, you're not gonna get one. It's a horror film. It doesn't happen. Just ask Demi Moore. It was like, ooh, that one's still harsh. But hey, Amy Madigan just won, so ha.
All right, so then I wanted
yours. Okay.
I did want to give one of my honorable mentions for this I wanted to give it to Doofy.
Yes. Okay. I think I do too.
I was surprised seeing him because he's in full Doofy mode, and like again, this goes back to this movie's really stupid. But I was thinking in my head, I was like, didn't they reveal that he's not an idiot? Like it was all a ruse.
They did the whole like Usual Suspects
Yeah.
like parody at the end, but I don't care. Like
Yeah.
that's the thing. All of the Brenda's died in every scary movie except this one. So
Yeah.
like she keeps coming back. This like that's why I love this franchise, is that it's like meta in a way like Scream, but even more that they're like talking to you guys and talking about literally this is Scary Movie 6.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that Doofy really works in this movie, and he was probably the one I was most concerned about coming back in 2026, because like 2000 for a scary movie is a very different world than 2026. And I don't know if I ever mentioned this to you when we talked about these previously, but two crazy facts I thought were pretty funny. The first one is that the actor who plays Doofy, he also does the voice of Ghostface in all the Scary Movie franchise. And I was like, oh my God, I did not know that. And he's so fucking good. Like you can, if you go back and listen to it, you can totally tell.
Yeah.
Dave Sheridan, that's his name, Dave Sheridan. But so the other crazy fact was that I guess when he auditioned for the very first Scary Movie, he showed up like acting like Doofy, and they were like, dude, or they called his agent, or they called the agent and were like, I can't believe, did you send someone who's actually like mentally disabled for this role? And then they were like, no, that was like him in character. And then they were like, oh my God, he's hired. But I was like, that's fucking crazy. What a crazy story. But I don't know. What did you think? Because I thought Doofy, like obviously he's in your honorable mentions, so you liked him. And I would put him up higher, but like I think honorable mentions is right. He was just fucking great. And
He was so funny, and I feel like they toned it down a little bit, which I think worked, because like we were talking about when we talked about the first Scary Movie, we were like, thank God for that ending with the Usual Suspects, because like this was a lot to just be like, so he's just disabled, like he's just mentally disabled, and we're laughing at this the whole time.
But that's what's like kind of funny about this one, is like they're like, okay, so we remember, and they're like even mentioned like, weren't you the killer at the end? And it's like, forget about it. Or he's like, I was part of the January 6th, so I was pardoned by the president. Like, I was part of the insurrection. He has a photo. It's just great shit. But I thought the fact that like they even play with that when like he's like, I sinned, and like exactly how he would always say it to Cindy in the first movie. And then she's like, stop smiling. And then they're like, he is differently abled. Like that is just his face. And it's like, she's like, oh, I'm sorry. And I love that it's like playing on the smile thing. But I was like, even that is fucking great. They definitely were, I think, like right in their choice there. I don't think if they would have overdone it, or if he would have been in a lot more, maybe would have been too much. But like they played a lot of the hits with him of like when fucking Sherry O'Terry is Gale Hailstorm or Gale Swallows. Her and Doofy together are just fucking movie magic to me. And like that whole scene when she's like, your fingers smell like genitals. And he's like Gale Swallows. Like it's just, they're playing the hits there. And then they also give us like a little bit of new stuff, like him being like still thinking it's COVID and being insane. I was like, that was great. And he's like, what am I gonna do with all this canned meat? I think like maybe Nolan, at least, this was probably the biggest laugh for him. And when we saw this was when they do the whole, because I love that they frame him as Dewey again in Scream 5. And he's like, you know, and then he's like, oh, he shows up to like help them out. And when he shows up on his little like fucking like, you know, tricycle,
his big wheel.
yeah, his big wheel. And he's just going like the, whoop, that's the sound of the police. That's just like, that was so good. And Nolan, that probably made him laugh the fucking loudest. That was so great. I think you're right. He wasn't like the number one for me, but he was up there. Like he was one of the best returning actors for sure. And one probably did the best job considering like what he's up against and like how much people were probably like, I mean, obviously people are probably offended by it, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. I feel like a lot of this humor is on level with the first two, but it's just 2026. I guess people are different, but.
And he got to say his most famous line ever of "my ass."
It's a great moment at the very end to do that to Ghostface. Oh, what the hell is that? The fact that he was also shooting like a dart gun, and when he's on the elevator and he just like hits all the buttons, they're like, "Damn it, Doofy!" It's like she's like injured, and he's like, "Sorry, I cut it off myself." It's just like great, good fucking shit. I'm just very happy.
Well, and you mentioned like people being offended by this. One thing I was surprised by with this, like from the trailer with like the whole subway scene, he's like not she, I go by they them, and like there's all the thing I was most worried about with this movie is that it was going to be more edgy humor than like parody.
Yes.
And this movie like doesn't have very much edgy stuff at all. Like I was really surprised and happy because like there's so much stuff with like people just they think edgy is funny, and so they just say offensive things for the sake of saying them, and they think laughs are going to happen, and so I was really happy that that didn't happen here.
I think you're totally right, because a lot of the things I saw online was people were like, they didn't cross the line. I thought they were going to cross the line. I thought they were going to do this. I thought they were going to do that. But I was like, I feel like this is actually exactly the type of movie that I would expect them to be making at this age, because they both are older, right? Marlon and Sean Wayans are both in their like 40s or 50s now. So probably 50s, let's be real, but they look great. But like those guys are like, I think Marlon Wayans especially said like he's learned a lot from when he was a teenager or like a young kid writing these movies, right? Or working on these. And so, especially because he's more of like the driving creative force behind this movie, like I think it's really smart the way that they didn't just cross the line just to cross it. And they had little like they/them jokes, but I felt like that was funny because it obviously made it so controversial when people saw the trailer and got so upset about it, like saying, oh, that's a stupid joke. But it's like, then when you see the movie and it's parodying exactly the way that fucking Brenda dies in the first movie in the theater, and everyone's like, and ruining Jackie Chan movies, and they all just like throw in other shit and start attacking her. It was exactly like that. And it made sense that was like the 2026 start, like inciting incident, because that's the shit that fucking everyone flips out about. But then like on the flip side, you see like the trans son of fucking Greg, who's just a delight, and I'm glad he's back in this movie from the original, who's like the sheriff now or whatever. The cop.
He's like, he's my favorite returning character.
Is he? Okay,
yeah.
I'm impressed, because I feel like he's not in this movie as much, and he doesn't get to do a lot of stuff that he did in the first one. So I was actually surprised. I was like, I loved what he did here, and I loved his little parts, but like, especially the relationship with the trans son.
It's the relationship that's everything. Like, it's
so good, and it's like the whole thing of like, oh, slap fights, like call it a slap, and the kids just like beats the shit out of him. It feels like fucking great.
And then they bring back like the whole tiny dick joke. It's so
and he's
funny.
even like, when they're like, what's your favorite horror or scary movie, and he's like fucking Saltburn. The dick on
the
that
hog on that guy.
Yeah, the hog on that English guy. Woo! He's like, that was he's like, I found Ken Jeong's junk in the Hangover to be a much better accurate representation of the male genitalia. It's like, of course, fucking good. And even like just the whole thing with the like when Ghostface stabs him and he's like, I'm gonna kill your little girl or something. He's like, little boy.
Yeah.
And when he does kill the son, and he's like, the last words are like, "You stabbed like a girl." Like, flipping him off. I was like, this is incredible shit. Marlon Wayne said, well, I don't know if you know this, but he has a trans son as well.
Oh,
Who
I
used to be his
think I
daughter,
did hear that.
Yeah, and he said that informed a lot of the inclusion of that character and the jokes not being like what you would see normally from like something that would be more controversial,
Yeah,
of,
it's
like
not at
punching
the
down.
expense.
Exactly. They're in on it. And that's what I fucking love about it. I mean, they literally attack everybody in this movie. So it makes sense that there'd be like jokes, but it's fucking great. Or when they're like, even the boyfriend is like, "Oh, well, if you're trans, obviously you got some fucked up shit going on in your head." And it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You don't know what I got. They're like, or like, at least in your pants. It's like, you don't know what I got down there. And then the other girl's like, "I do." It's like, you don't miss a beat, all of it's just fucking good. And you're right that like I think his whole relationship, Greg, the cop, and the trans son, was just such a unique idea for his character from the first one. And I just thought it was great.
Yeah, like they both die pretty early, but the amount of time that we have with them is perfect.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. And it's great. I like that he's your best returning actor. I think mine has to go to the MVP of this whole movie, which is Anna Faris.
She is amazing.
Yeah, I just think she doesn't skip a beat. And her as Cindy, I could watch a whole movie with her and no one else. I'd love it if it was just her and Brenda. But like, again, like, I could just watch her be Cindy for an hour and a half by herself, and it's fucking great. Like she can do it all. And the fucking Jamie Lee and like almost the Final Destination grandma thing with the whole trap outside the house and the UPS guy. Like, I hate this job because he's like stuck on the post. Just fucking good shit. And people were even saying like Halloween's 2018, that's so long ago. And I'm like, fuck off. Okay.
Yeah.
This has been since the Wayans brothers haven't made this since 2002. They haven't been able to parody shit. So you think Halloween, be going back hella far.
Also, Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends happened.
Thank you.
Post 2020. So it all works.
People forget things. They don't care. They just want to be mad because it makes them fucking get a boner or some shit. I don't know. But I think Anna Faris, just like the idea of her I love that they use her for multiple different things, because it's also like the smile thing.
Yeah.
And then also like you
get another returning character. Bobby comes back for the smile reference.
That was so great. And I was like, his face is honestly the perfect one to use for that smile. Like, that was too good. And she's like, "I'm not a very pleasant person, so I think I must be cursed or something." Because she's like, "Everyone's smiling at me." And some people were like, "I wish that would have gone further." I did see in the there is like an alternative cut that has like an extra 25 minutes or so of stuff.
Okay.
There is a really funny cut scene that was like parodying in Smile 2, the scene where she like imagines all of her dancers like in the hallway taking up all the space, but it's like a bunch of ghost face. And it's kind of also parodying Squid Games, because she's like red light, green light, and like kind of shit. It's fucking funny. But yeah, so I just think Anna Faris in every scene nails it. And just to really underline the fact that she's still our MVP is like the actress who plays her daughter is like a fucking copy, like carbon copy of her.
Perfect casting.
She nailed the cadence and like voice and like the way, like just everything about her performance as Cindy, and even the way that she like just nailed the jokes. I just thought that was she's probably my favorite of the young people. I mean, they're all great, but like she was probably my favorite just because as fucking Anna Faris's daughter, you can't do better. That was just, I was like, is that actually her fucking daughter or her younger sister?
And she delivers my favorite line of the movie with the Judd Apatow elevated comedy.
That was Tuesday, actually.
Oh, that was Tuesday?
Yeah, because she's the one in the opening parodying Jenna Ortega in Scream 5.
Oh, you're right.
That's why she's in the hospital, yeah. But the other one, like, and she's like, but they're both great. I mean, both of the daughters, but
all the new young casts are fantastic.
And if you watch the credits, you could see like they literally weren't joking that there's a billion Wayanses. Like there is so like every page of cast credits, there are like at least one or two Wayans names in there. It's nuts.
Well, and the other thing I was not expecting in this movie involving Anna Faris was a John Wick parody.
Okay.
And the fact that they did it and it looked great, it looked like John Wick, but then they added a scene of Anna Faris standing there eating popcorn and be like, my stunt person is great.
Like, killing it over there. That was so fucking good. And also just like the whole thing with her Ghostface at the beginning, like fighting about it. And she's like, because he's like, oh, you're acting like I killed your dog or something. And she's like, the dog was a metaphor. It was about his wife. And he's like, are you sure it's not an allegory? Like, all over. Then also fucking Brenda outside and be like, who are you, Joan Wick? And she's like, I would have said ballerina, but ain't nobody saw that shit. Yeah. I was like, that's what I'm saying. All those John Wick bits were so great. And even I feel like when the dildos pop up, it's a little everything everywhere all at once.
I wasn't expecting that either, but it's great.
I don't know if I'm crazy, but like when Cindy dropped the white wig and had her black hair on for the finale, I was like, okay, she looks exactly the same from Scary Movie 1. Yeah. What the fuck happened? Like, she hasn't aged at all. It's incredible. That whole sequence was really just delightful, and I'm really glad they did it because it was like, it reminded me of the Matrix stuff in the original movie and like the funny fight sequences with Ghostface, and this one really delivered. Plus, you're like, how many fucking Ghostfaces are there? There's like a shit ton that keep coming. And I believe it's that it's like an extension of that scene where the Smile 2 scene is from. Because I remember being like, wait a minute, this is brand new.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think she's definitely my best returning actor. But
I think I misunderstood this category because I think I was assuming that the core four are great, but I was thinking like returning from the original two.
Oh, okay. Well then, okay, fine. I screwed up then. I'm gonna change mine.
We didn't clarify. I just figured we were going to be talking about the core four throughout the entire conversation.
I mean, yeah, and I love that they're like, that's some corny ass shit. We are not the core four. I guess like if I had to pick though, just to be, just to try and do it your way on a level playing field, I guess I would say, I feel like Gale Hailstorm, Sherry O'Terry, and then the whole substance bit. Be like, this isn't that shit. It's gonna make me smell like Gwyneth Paltrow's badge, is it?
I love when when her character first comes back, she's walking past all of the influencers, like reporting the news to while doing TikTok dances.
Exactly. And she's like, oh my God, and she's like, yes, 2-time Emmy nominator or Emmy winner for my reporting. And she's like, I was going to say the lady from Friends, but with less Botox. And she's like, oh, you were? And I'm just like, I fucking love her. Sherry O'Terry is one of the funniest people, I think. And I wish she was in more stuff because she's always been fucking hilarious. She was on a really great episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm where she played like an ex-Disneyland employee who was like insane because if you ever put the Small World music on, she would like go nuts. It was fucking weird but hilarious. She just does crazy and like over the top, and I just am glad. I wish she was in it more, but I would give her my best returning if I had to shout it out.
I loved when she's talking to Dewey and Dewey's like, remember when you used to give blowjobs? Doofy, yeah. He's like, I used to give blowjobs. He's like, I don't give blowjobs anymore. Not after Me Too. I just do hand jobs.
He's like, all right, I'll take a hand job. Let's go. So fucking good. Okay, so then I also will say if I don't know, so my one question was, did you watch the credits all the way through?
Yes.
Okay. Because if you haven't watched it, then you would basically, I feel like if I include the credits, I would say my favorite cameo would be shorthand Chris Elliott coming back, but also I thought Heidi Gardner, who used to be on SNL, who played the Micah Monroe character from Longlegs, and Damon Wayans Jr. as Agent Underwood. They just really nailed their cadence and exactly how the vibe of that movie was. And the little bits about it, just the little bits, there's only one scene in the movie where they accidentally beat up and arrest the black man instead of him, which is great. But I feel like the credit sequences, I don't know where that would fit in the movie, but I'm really glad that they included it because it was just great to see. I wish shorthand could have been the star of the film, but I think it's fine that they left it for the extra scenes. But man, some of the funniest shit was in the credits.
It's so good. I mean, shorthand is my favorite character of the entire franchise, and
he's definitely the MVP of number 1 and 2. If you pick overall, who's the funniest person, it's fucking Chris Elliott as shorthand.
I mean, I was let down that he wasn't really that involved in this movie, and so I'm just crossing my fingers that it's setting up for the sequel, like the next one where he comes back in full force.
I mean, the fact that they even do his like thing where he's like singing the happy birthday song and then him like beating his face against the table like Nick Cage, it was just like he's not even that extreme off of like Nick Cage's performance. He's actually toning it down a little from Nick Cage's like insane performance, which is crazy because it's like that actually works weirdly, and it makes it even funnier. I don't know why. It's like you couldn't go more extreme because we'd be like Nick Cage was already bringing it on Nick Cage levels, and this guy just the way he's like totally normal between when he's like hitting his face on that he's like, oh my god, ow, yeah, you're telling me, whoa, like it's just good shit.
I loved how that scene ends with Heidi Gardner being like, "Oh, yeah, that's not our guy." And he's like, "How'd you know?" He's like, "I'm a psychic." He's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah." He's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot." It's like Jesus. Yeah, I feel like okay. Can we talk about Shorty?
Yeah,
because he's like the main character of this movie almost outside of like Cindy and the kids. I would say like he's all like he's definitely in it more than Ray and Brenda and Cindy. I would say like he's basically like, and I get it because Marlon Wayans is like the more he's definitely the driving creative force of the movie. This time, so it makes sense to me. But how do you feel about Shorty? Because a lot of people were like, there was way too much Shorty. He was just doing the same old shit, and I was so over it. And I was like, really? I personally, out of the original two, I think Shorty is my all-time favorite character.
Yeah, I mean, Shorty has done the same thing in all the movies. Like he's the stoner. Like that's what I love. I love that he's like accidentally a millionaire. Like he's famous on Twitch and crypto and like all this stuff. Like
he's so good. It fits because you're like, and he's still going to fucking high school. And he's like, no, I'm not teaching. I'm here to attend.
Yeah.
Like, of course you are. And
I'm
he's
25th year senior.
Yeah. They're like, are you ever going to graduate? He's like, yeah, maybe next year. Or he's like, I don't know. Maybe, if they do a sequel and I got to follow you little young kids off to college. And I'm like, exactly. Which is great. And I just felt like also him coming up and be like, I have had it with all you Gen Z alpha, and like you're calling me like unk and glamping and all these different things.
You're literally our uncle.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh shit. Like I could hear him say, "Oh shit, son," and giggle and get high about 1 million more times, and I would never ever be upset about it. I feel like he was so great, and I love the fact that he played Dead by Daylight as the.
I was gonna ask you, did you scream when that scene happened?
Because you literally get his like Mori, which in that game, I don't know why it's called that, but that's like the killer's like death scene that when he like straight up kills you instead of sacrifices you. And Ghostface's is the best, and you can wear the "Was Up" mask in that game from Scary Movie. I honestly am like only disappointed the fact that there was not a Scary Movie collab with Dead by Daylight immediately after this film came out. I thought it was a missed opportunity, but like, because like I would fucking play the shit out of like if there were survivors of like Brenda and Cindy and Shorty and Ray, like I'd be like someone was posting like, Cindy, the gen's leaking, and I'm like, exactly, like it would be so good. But his like whole thing where he like kills someone and then like takes a photo with them as they're dead, it just felt like exactly. And then the fact that like when Ghostface tries to sneak up on him there and like he does the and like everyone jumps out and fucking blasts him with weed smoke. I was like, yes, my favorite is just like high, silly Ghostface, I think. Yeah. And we don't get those in the Scream movies. It's very much just a Scary Movie unique thing. But like between the scene where Shorty gets him high and then the gas, the laughing gas, and he's like, I'm gonna cut the shit out of you. She's like, oh, when you turn me into bacon, like there's laughing. She's like, oh shit, I think he's really gonna kill me. Good stuff. But I think Shorty is like, I don't know, for my category of funniest performance, I put Marlon Wayans. Because he does play multiple people in the movie. And at least in the credits, you see him as Brosferatu, which I thought was fucking delightful.
Oh, funny.
But what did you think of him?
He was great. I mean, I like that they were like, this is the character. We're not going to change him. And they did the same thing with Ray. Like Ray's the same character. Cindy's the same character. Brenda, like these people don't have character development. That's not what this is. And so I love that they just kept it that way. And it also led to like one of the funniest, like I thought it was one of the funniest scenes where he's live streaming and he brings on Kai Cenat.
Yeah,
and like
that was actually great.
and like I don't watch live streamers, but one of my favorite things is live streamer drama. I love watching those videos on YouTube because they're all just these kids that say stupid shit about each other, and it's like they forget that they're live, and so then the person they talk shit about sees that they talk shit, and so then they talk shit, and so it's just this, it's kind of this Martha Stewart effect of or not Martha Stewart, Barbara Streisand effect, where it's like,
what the fuck are you talking about, Martha Stewart? She's never done a fucking live stream, and if
no,
she has,
the Barbara Streisand effect, where they try to bury that they said something stupid, and then that just pulls it up to the surface, and then everyone gets mad. And I thought the live stream segment was so accurate because I see clips of what these people do, and it's just them shouting and hitting each other and like doing stuff.
That's the thing. They're doing that on Twitch. And this is the thing Nolan and he was explaining this to me. And I was like, I don't understand why they're on Twitch, which is for video game streaming. And they're streaming fucking doing nothing. And like slap each other with a noodle. And guess who it was? Like, that was exactly this type of fucking stupid game that they play. And it was exactly like, why the fuck are we watching this and giving people like this money? But you're like, if Shorty was doing it, I absolutely would be watching every week. 100%.
Yeah. I mean, Twitch started as video games. Now it's a category of just chatting, and it's just people spending time talking to their chat and doing stupid things to entertain them. And yeah, we are not watching this. We are not the audience. This is what kids watch.
I mean, hey, if that's why I was like, Nolan had to explain to me who Kai Cenat was, or Cenat, or whatever the fuck his name is. I just love that they chopped his head off, that Ghostface beheaded him, because I was like, that's what we should do to influencers in these movies. When they're in here, it's just like, fuck off. Like, it's like, that's the best joke you could make about him. And then the fact that like also when Ghostface comes in, they're like, oh shit. And then he just like breaks it down and starts dancing. Yeah. I will say, one of the funniest jokes of the movie that I did not fully understand until today, and I might be stupid, but I saw a lot of people online actually said that they did not understand this joke until they saw it written. But when they're doing the live stream, they're like, presented by Angry Orchard. And they're like, they got mad apples, bro. Yeah. And like even Ghostface says that. And I never understood the joke, but it was like, because it's Angry Orchards. Yeah. And they are mad apples. They got angry apples. And I was just like, that's so fucking dumb, but hilarious. Like, that's the thing. That's something that nobody really got. We just thought like, oh, they're making fun of like when you say the stupid tagline like that. Like, eat fresh. Like, it's like that. Or like, calm down, have a Red Bull, whatever. Yeah. Shit like that. It feels like exactly. And that's what I love about this movie. Like a lot of those jokes, maybe it's just like you get them, but you only get the surface. And then if you actually think about it, that's what I'm saying. I think I was blown away by how many jokes I had to think about in this movie. There were some real like actual, like, I mean, obviously the Wayans are older. They're, I feel like they're better at constructing things maybe, or they're like at different points in their lives, they have something unique to bring. But I just was like, there was actual jokes that like, it took me a minute to fucking get. And I was like, wow, didn't expect that in this dumb little movie, but I love that.
Oh God. Yeah. It's great. All right. So for my favorite performance.
Thank you. Your funniest performance?
Yeah. Funniest performance. This might surprise you. It's not the core four.
Okay.
I'm picking this based off the character that made me laugh the hardest.
Mm-hmm.
And also just whenever they're on screen, I'm laughing. And it was the butt plug girl.
Really?
I thought she was hysterical. The character's name is Elle. Actress is Ruby Snober.
Okay,
I will watch whatever comedy she does next. She's a young actor. I thought she was hysterical in this. Like,
I'll give you that. She was great. And she was also a wonderful, like, she looked and like nailed the parts where she was parodying fucking Mikey Madison in Scream 5, which was just delightful.
Welcome to the third act, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, what?
What does that mean?
I loved her face when she does that. She's like, "That's where all the shit goes down," and then she pulls out the gun and she's like,
"Yeah, like,
run!"
God. Yeah, and she's like just blowing, fucking, just like going off. And even like when he's like, when Shorty teaches his nephew to eat pussy, and he's like teaching him, it's like rolling a blunt, and then like that whole scene, you're like, it's just so funny, so extra.
I was laughing so hard when she's like, "Careful, my kitty's gangster," and then like she like does like a Viking yell. She's like, "Get back in there!"
It literally punches him. It literally fucking punches him. He's like, "Oh shit, it is gangster." But it was just great shit. And then the fact that they even show the like clip rolled up like a blunt. I was like, Jesus Christ. And then he just like, only one thing left to do, and lights it. You're like, that was pretty funny. That was great. I bet you that's a scene though that like Gen Z is like, ew, not funny, so cringe. Like even the nephew says, because he's like, do you know how to like, can you teach me how to like go down a girl? And Shorty's like, do you mean eat pussy? Because like, yeah, first off, you're not gonna want to talk like you're a 13-year-old girl.
Or like even like earlier in the movie when the trans kids is like, "You don't know what I have down there," and then she's like, "I do." Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like,
and all of
her delivery is so funny.
Her butt plug and all of that. She's like, I mean, it's so easy to like hide, and they're all like looking at it. She's like, "In your butt," and they're like, "Oh God!" And I just love the chicks who's the what's Brenda's kids, like the daughter, her name is literally like DEI, which is just fucking hilarious. In case you didn't know, the character name is pretty funny. But when she says that like in your butt, and I just love the DEI chick's fucking reaction. She goes, "I'm impressed." Me too. And that chick was great. But if I was picking out of the new cast, like outside of the Anna Faris's daughter, which I mean, obviously she was Olivia Rose Keegan. She was so good. But I thought Cameron Scott Roberts, who played Jack, who was the boyfriend, was just delightful in all of the ways that he was a perfect
great
parody of fucking Scream 5, but specifically, what's his face?
Jack Quaid.
Yes, Jack Quaid. Why can't I never remember his name? And I love that man. But I was just like, eat all the little things. And he's like, "Ow, you almost hit a vein." And he's like, "Oh, I mean, ow." And it's like, you know, and he's like, "Hey, dude, careful." And he's like, "Oh shit, that wasn't believable," or something. And it's like just good shit.
The whole movie, he's just saying like, "I'm one of the killers." Like he's wearing the gloves in the hospital. He's like, what was it? He said,
he says, I'm thinking about dressing up as OJ Simpson for Halloween. And I love that Tuesday just goes, "Your gloves fit." Just another one that you're like, wait, what? Young kids probably won't get that.
Oh, God.
But I really enjoyed the fact that all the kids were like really good actors. I thought they were all great. Like they all nailed it as what they were doing. I thought like weirdly all of them were like really great. There wasn't really a weak
really
one.
Funny. Like
And
I hope in the second one they just keep the logic that if you die, it doesn't matter. You can come back, because I want all of them to come back.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Okay, so this, and then also the other the son of Brenda and I guess Ray, his name is Greg Wayans.
Yeah.
So he's I think that's his he's their nephew.
Yeah.
And so I was like, of course, that's just another. I was like, basically anyone that you suspect is a Wayans in this movie is a Wayans. As well as Nurse Ratchet. That is Kim Wayans.
She was hilarious.
That was great. And I wish they didn't show that clip of her in the break room at the end of the trailer when they did, because I was like, that would have hit so much harder when you're seeing it in the theater, because you're just like, when she's like, "Excuse me, we're on break." Like, that was just good. Everything about this movie in general, like, I just thought that all the little parts were so like great that there really wasn't a weak person. And that's like impressive, because I feel like we don't do a lot of parody comedies anymore. It's kind of like a lost art to me, is what it feels. And when you do it, it feels like people don't get it.
Yeah. Like
when you do it really well and it's almost like you're playing it seriously, but it's like that, people don't get it. But then when you do it like this, where it's 100% we're not being serious, people still don't get it. So maybe we're just dumb now and we can't even understand this shit. But it feels to me like this is right on par with that.
Like this was great. Like this this had so much nostalgia built into it, but it didn't feel like nostalgia bait,
Yes.
which is really hard to do.
It
And
didn't feel like Happy Gilmore 2, basically, which felt
Yeah.
like they included all clips. They literally included so many fucking clips of the original movie. It was insane. And they also like were like every joke. It was, I didn't even feel that there was really any new jokes besides like whatever the like new golf league thing was, but it was like
Yeah.
that wasn't very funny. Everything else was like repeats or remember this previous joke, which obviously they have things like that with like, you know, Gail Swallows and like you said, like when Doopy's like my ass and like the little dick and fucking Shorty being like, oh shit. They also even make fun of like the scene from, I think it's the first one when he's doing like the I see dead people and you're all like locked in like, oh, what's happening? And then it's like they're all just fucking around. They do that with like the Candyman scene.
Yeah.
And I was like, I meant to ask you about that because I thought that was such a delightful little like thing. And he's like,
You're lucky I was walking by.
He's like, you need to fix this hole in your wall. It's so fucking good. Like, why do you have an acne as an adult? Just fucking great. And I love that they fit those little things in. And then if we didn't have that, we would never have gotten the weapons parody, which is just perfect. And the fact that they're like, and you even got a fucking 6'7" joke, which I'm glad that child got hit by a car.
And then we got an ET reference.
Yeah, it was just good shit all around. But I think let's talk about the ending maybe, right? Because I think this is definitely the whole sequence where I laughed the hardest. I don't know about you, but this was like where I was just like, I can't breathe. This is amazing. Everything that's happening. This is better than I expected.
Yeah, when you said that they knew the ending of the movie before anything else, I totally believe that because this final sequence feels so thought out. Like all the jokes, like bringing Anthony Anderson back and Shaq back, and like all the little things of like you, Shaq, you were in one scene. And he's like, yeah,
he's like, but I got Dr. Phil to cut his foot off.
Yeah, that guy went crazy after that.
So good. And then also like I just love the fact that it was like it's Ray and Shorty are the killers, as they should be, right? Like they are so perfect that way because like first off, Ray was a killer in the first movie too, but they're both like it's like they're the ones who got this franchise back, and they're like, yeah, of course we're fucking punishing everyone for doing anything without us. Like that's the smartest element of the movie, and I love the fact that that was like what they're going for, and that even though it's like they have Shaq and Anthony Anderson back, they're like they're just trying to, you know, they were trying to pit us against each other, like some black on very black crime. And Shaq's like, was that me? The funniest bit though, I think, and I don't even listen to his podcast, but when they're talking about Shaq's podcast, and then Marlon Wayans is like, you're like, oh, they're like, oh, I don't understand a thing you're saying because you're just like, whoa, 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 Kobe. Yeah. I was like, that fucking bit was so funny.
I haven't listened to Shaq's podcast either, but I've heard Shaq on like watching NBA games, and like he said, he does sound like that. Just
like you need the. It was just so delightful, and then they're like, "It seems like everything's fine," and they're like, "But we can't forgive you for Shazam or whatever." And like,
I never forgave you for Shazam, and then Brendan's like, Shazam, "Oh yeah, I hated that movie too."
And then Anthony Anderson's like, "We cool guys?" Like, he's all like, you know, and then they're like, "Oh, you know," and Blackish, congratulations. And he's like, "Well, actually, like the show got 5, but I got 8 nominations or whatever." And they're like, "Oh, really?" Kill him. He's like, "I didn't know they fired the family. I want to work with you guys." And making fun of the like how he stole a sketch from the Wayans show or whatever back in the day, and then he's like, "You guys were on the WB. No one saw that shit." Oh god, it was just great. And then the fact that like at first you're like, okay, so the kids are fine, but like the parent, like all the core 4 is back, all right. And then I just thought the kids are like, oh, what about like the old or the young and the restless, or like the old and the beautiful, or like whatever. And then they're like, the next scene is just them tied up, and they're like fucking pouring gasoline. They're like, Cindy's Cindy's saying, "Fuck them kids. This is our franchise." I was like, absolutely. This is exactly how I felt about almost every franchise reboot. Like I I like new characters, but it's like sometimes like it just makes sense. Like sometimes you don't want them to. Like Scream, it's like they tried and now it's like they're never gonna be able to do it. You can't I guess you're just stuck with Nev Campbell forever, but it feels like, this is exactly the right attitude. Some of these franchises should take their franchises back from the fucking young people who stole them. That's I think like the best. Like I said, I told you this before even you saw this movie, but I was like, this movie's 10 times, it might be dumb, but it's smarter, 10 times smarter at least than Scream 7.
Yeah,
I think you agree with me. Yeah. Fuck that movie.
Well, to echo that movie's sentiment, fuck them kids.
Yeah, fuck them fucking kids. Right to the hell. Let's burn them all down and keep our fucking franchises to ourselves. I like this idea.
Yeah. But seriously, in the next one, please bring them all back because they were wonderful.
No, just like totally ignore it and just bring back a whole new set of kids.
Just every movie.
Yeah, that's what they've been doing before. I mean, who has to stop them? Brenda's died every time.
Well, then that just should end up being boomers' favorite movies, fuck them kids. That's the boomers' way.
And I bet you all to like Scary Movie. They wouldn't be able to get in. It's millennials. Yeah. And we are officially at the age where we can say, fuck them kids. And I hate it, but I love this movie, so.
Gen Z trying to ally with the millennials. You know what? Fuck them kids.
Yeah.
You had your chance.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. This is our shit. We're taking back the world.
All right. Well, next week, we're going to talk about a movie that we both saw earlier this year. And it's such an interesting movie. It's going to be really fun to talk about, especially with some of the issues that people had thinking the movie was one thing from a trailer. And then they go and it's totally different.
Yeah, honestly, but I love that, and I feel like it doesn't happen anymore. And it does clearly, but it's rare when a trailer for a movie really betrays you, and you have no idea what the fuck you're about to see. Like when you watch it, you're like, "This is not what I signed up for." But sometimes that's the best thing ever, right?
That's so true. Trailers more often than not nowadays spoil everything, and this movie just was a ruse.
It feels a little bit like Cabin in the Woods in a way, where you're like, am I in the right theater at first? Like, at least this one, but like, you have no idea. If you've only seen the trailer, you have literally no idea what you're getting yourself in for. So, yeah. Did we already say what the fuck we're talking about?
No. What movie are we watching?
I was just about to say, we're going to be watching the drama with Zendaya and Robert Pattinson, which is streaming this Friday. It will be on HBO Max.
Yeah.
So you have a whole week to watch it.
And this is a really good movie. Like, thought-provoking, very timely. This is the same director that did Dream Scenario.
With Nick Cage, where everyone dreams about him. It's a weird and delightful film that's also totally about something different than you think it's going to be.
Yeah, this doesn't have any weird, wacky dream stuff happening.
I mean, it does have like it does have like a similar energy, but yeah, it's not like any weird dream world stuff. But it's just a great movie and it's challenging in the right ways. And I think like it's a great discussion to be had. Some people might be like, oh, I don't even want to like watch a movie that talks about that. But it's like, that's stupid. Like this is it's a great, like, what would you do in this situation kind of a thing to think about. So
and Robert Pattinson and Zendaya have great chemistry together it's them the entire movie and they're really good.
This is the first of their 3 movies this year. I've seen The Odyssey with both of them as well. And then they also have Dune Part 3 this year. Yeah. So pretty exciting stuff. But they have really great chemistry in the same way that she had great chemistry with Timothée Chalamet. And like when they do press tours, you're like, they're so friendly and like buddy that you're like, I don't know how it's going to translate. But I think in both cases, like, I mean, obviously Zendaya is just a queen. So easy. But Robert Pattinson is just really delightful in this movie.
Yeah, it's great. So, all right, well, that's it for this week, and we'll see you next week on the regular exclusive podcast.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. We out here.